How's it everyone? Today we're checking out the new mid-range player from Honor, the Honor X7D 5G. This device has launched in September of 2025, and what makes it interesting is that Honor promises a mix of rugged build quality, long battery life, 5G connectivity, and even an AI button, features that you don't always see at this price point. So let's jump into what you need to know, starting off with the specs. So some of the key specs. The screen is a 6.7 inch and it's a TFT LCD HD Plus resolution. So 720 by 1610, 120 Hz refresh rate, peak brightness around 850 nits. Now in terms of its build quality, the Honor X7D comes with two colors. It comes in desert gold and velvet black. It boasts micro nano textured back with a silky smooth feel, right? And it's marketed as slim and ergonomic, designed for a comfortable grip. Build wise, it has 5-star SGS drop and crush resistance, dropped at 2 meters, and an IP65 dust and splash resistance rating. In terms of weight, this weighs around 206 grams with dimensions of 166.9 by 76 by 8.24 millimeters. In terms of an operating system, this ships with Android 15 and Honor's Magic OS 9. Now, in terms of a processor, this has the Qualcomm Snapdragon 6S Gen 3, the 6 nanometer, which is an octa-core, which has 2 Cortex A78 at 2.3 GHz and 6 A55 Cortex at 2 GHz with an Adreno 619 GPU. In terms of storage, in the base spec, you have 6 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage, right? And in some regions, you have a 256 gig variant where turbo RAM or RAM turbo memory is offered. Now in terms of RAM, like how we said, this has 6 gigs with Honor RAM Turbo and Virtual RAM Boost available. Like how we know, this is a 5G device, and in terms of connectivity, this is running Wi-Fi with 802.11 ABG-NAC. It has Bluetooth, NFC, USB Type-C 2.0, and it also supports OTG, and it has a side-mounted fingerprint reader with dual stereo speaker capability. Now, coming to this big battery that we speak of. The battery is a 6,500 milliamp hour dual cell battery, and it supports 35 watt super fast charge wired Honor charging. Now, in terms of the camera, the rear camera is a dual camera setup with a 50 megapixel main with a f1.8 wide and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. The front camera is a 5 megapixel selfie camera, and you have HDR, panorama, portrait modes, and Honor's AI driven tools. In terms of some of the bonus features with this device, you have the dedicated instant AI button on the side with one-tap shortcuts for smart functions like quick launch of the voice assistant, AI photo tools, as well as it's marked as durable with dust and splash resistance with drop and crush certification, which is very, very rare at this point. The Honor X7D 5G is clearly aimed at budget to mid-range buyers who want a little more than just an entry-level smartphone. People who want durability, long battery life, and 5G connectivity without spending copious amounts of money. With its large display, decent internals, big battery, and extra ruggedness, this is a good pick for students, everyday users, travelers, and anyone who wants a reliable daily driver without having to break the bank. So this retails for about 4,999 rands for the 256 gig variant. And that makes it a very competitive mid-range value proposition. Now, in terms of the pros, This has a large 6.77 inch display with 120 Hz refresh rate, smooth for browsing, social media, video and light gaming. It has an excellently strong battery life with 6000 milliamp hours. Fast charging supported at 35 watts, which is good for long days, traveling and even heavy use. It also has a durable build with 5-star drop and crush resistance plus IP65 water and dust resistance, ideal for everyday use without having to baby your phone. Not forgetting 5G support, dual SIM and modern connectivity. Another big pro is the dedicated AI button, a neat bonus, particularly at this price range. It adds usability and convenience. Not forgetting the fact that we have solid camera performance for everyday shots with a 50 megapixel rear, AI enhancements and basic depth sensor, which is good enough for social media and casual photography. Now coming to the cons. The first is the display. It's a TFT LCD, which is not so blacks and contrast won't be as good as some of the higher end phones, and viewing angles and color depth will be more basic. Second is obviously the resolution, HD plus 720p ish, so some users may not notice for sharper text or high definition videos. Another con is the fact that you get 6 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage as the baseline. So another con is that the cameras are basic. They're not game changing, but they are basic, and especially for this price point, I mean, why am I complaining? I'm literally picking at straws right now. So one con definitely worth mentioning is the plastic frame and back. So though with textured finish, it's less premium compared to like glass and metal flagships. But if we want something rugged, I think that's also the reason that we're getting this plastic finish back. Now, for this segment and price point, the Honor X7D 5G feels like a sensible, well-balanced choice. It doesn't try to be a flagship, but for someone who needs a dependent daily driver with a good screen, excellent battery life, 5G speeds, a decent camera, and real-world durability, it delivers. If you care about premium display quality or top-tier camera performance, maybe look higher. But for value and practicality, this phone punches way above its weight. As a mid-range 2025 smartphone, it's solid. Overall, the Honor X7D 5G is a solid mid-range smartphone that hits a sweet spot between price, performance, and practicality. If you want a dependable, long-lasting phone for calls, social media, content capture, even everyday tasks and traveling, this one deserves serious consideration. So guys, that brings us to the end. If you enjoyed this video, you can let me know by giving me a like if you did. If you aren't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. A huge shout out to Honor South Africa for sending out the Honor X7D for me to test out, drop, and try and break the smartphone. Make sure you're following us on our social medias to see some hectic tests that we've done with this. But guys, thanks for watching. My name is Prashant and I will catch you in the next video.